All right. Hopefully, we are live. I'm just waiting for this thing to kick in. There we go. Happy Thanksgiving to all of the Canadian viewers out there. It is Monday, October 13th. I can hear myself talking. That's kind of throwing me off for a loop here. Let me just mute myself. Shut up, Johnny. I don't need to hear you talking. But thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be doing another watch stream along with the Blue Jays tonight. Hopefully, I've got the lag settled down, so I should be watching it pretty much in real time. Last time I did one of these, I was a little bit behind. Welcome to the chat, everyone. Jenny Kritzkamp, Jillian Felix, Jeanette, Marge, Harjot, Trojan Elk Explorer, John Nicholson, Madano is here, Whitby Dude. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm going to have some information about the game up in the corner, the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. But for the most part, I'm just watching the game right along with you guys if you so choose to watch. If not, feel free to jump in the chat and talk amongst yourselves. Last night, I went to the game, and I was quite the bad luck charm. I had amazing seats. We were in the 200 level, first row, first base side. It's pretty hard to beat that. Pretty phenomenal seats. It was a great atmosphere up until, I don't know, when John Schneider pulled Kevin Gossman and doomed us to fail, although you can't really win if you only score one run anyways. But the first pitch was a home run. That must have been cool to see. You know what, just Smitty? I made the joke. Imagine if that was all the excitement we got for the rest of the game right after that happened. And that's exactly what happened. So a bit of a jinx there. But today we've got Trey Savage on the hill, and Arozarena is coming to the plate. Then Cal Raleigh, one of the heroes for the Mariners from yesterday. They got the roof open today. It was closed last night. What's the temperature? It's 17 degrees. I guess it being a little bit earlier, they're going with the roof open. But Trey Savage has been absolute fire in these playoffs. Howard Charco is here. Greetings, Howard Charco. Chris Mill says roof open, tarp off. Indeed. Whippy Dude says, how did you get tickets? Rhymes with Bub Grub. Were they cheap? No. Were they expensive? Yeah. Am I going to go back this series? I'll go back. If they make the World Series, I'll 100% go back. But not this series. I already jinxed them. It was a lot of fun. We'll let some other people take turns overpaying for their tickets. Also, since I was at the game last night and went to a bar before the game, I got a little bit tipsy, you could say. So instead of an adult drink, we're going to have a Coke Zero on this one. And I've got the sunglasses on, so maybe you can see the reflection of the game in them. I can't show you the game. Maybe we can adjust this. Here comes first pitch. Trey Savage. It's an inch inside, but the ump calls it a strike. I'll take it. Ooh, that's gonna. We'll find a way maybe in the half inning to fix that. Strike two. 0-2 to Arozarena. Harjot is here. Alicia Lewis, Sebastian, Just Smitty. You also got a turkey in the oven? No, sir. I had a bowl of cereal. I worked out today, too. That's another reason I don't really want to be drinking. Don't want to kill those gains. It was kind of an intense workout, too. I feel pretty drained right now. In the dirt. Chris Mill says, good afternoon. Go Jays. So it is incredibly important that the Jays win today. If they go down 0-2 going into Seattle, strike three. What? 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 That ball four was clear as day, strike three. You can see it right there in the bottom left. That is some grade A bullshit. And that's why they don't show that thing in the in the stadium. I'll fix this. I just wanted you guys to see just how bad. Jillian Felix is strike 3. What the heck just happened? Yeah, we got fucked. I mean, he was a little generous with strike 3, or with the first pitch. Boo. Boo earns. All right, double play ball. Here comes the guy who hit the home run last night. I actually recorded this home run, or the home run he hit last night. Come on, sit this fuck down. Jenny Kurtzkamp says Boo earns. Yeah, he should have been on the bench with strike 3. Instead, he gets hit. Now he's on first. That's the way this game works. I fucking hate the fact that we don't have ABS implemented. I'm not even going to like the challenge system. We should just go full-blown ABS. Sanjay in Kingston is here. Greetings, Sanjay in Kingston. Alicia Lewis, 99 cents. Thank you, Alicia Lewis. Thank you for the support. Cheers to you. 1-1 to Raleigh. Yeah, no one's ever stolen off of you, Savage. Ball down. So it's 2-1. Ball 3. Okay, says new sunglasses. No, these are the Ray-Bans. Didn't I wear these ones last live stream? I alternate between these and another pair. Let's go. Pump in a strike. Foul off. We'll take it. What laptop am I using? I'm not using a laptop. I'm on the 3-monitor desktop setting. We got OBS over there, the chat over on that one, the game in the middle, and a couple of game feeds over on the right. All right, time to strike this fuck out. Whippy Dude says my feed is a tad delayed. I think what you're seeing is just the YouTube delay. Oof. First 2 runners on base. This is not good. Jenny Kurtzkamp says I'm watching Fox. No, I'm watching on the Sportsnet official feed. So I've got Buck Martinez sounding very much like a drunk uncle. And Dan Schulman. All right, double play ball. Let's go. Why is that pitch a strike, yet that was a ball on the first batter? That's bullshit. All right, let's get Rodriguez. Double play. Let's go. One thing I did notice was yesterday, at its loudest, the stadium was not as loud as 2015 and 2016. I think removing all those seats really, really took a lot away from how loud the crowd can get. There is noticeably less people there. It's still probably one of the loudest environments in baseball, but it was not what it was. Here comes the home run. Yep. Time to get out the alcohol. 3-0 Jack. I mean, the first batter technically struck out, so we shouldn't know what would have happened, or we wouldn't know what would have happened if the ump didn't fuck up, but hey, 3-0. Jenny asking if you can swear. Yes, swearing is welcome. Holy fuck. Am I going to be able to sit here and stream this if this turns into a massacre? Lisa is here. Thanks for tuning in to a very bad start for us. Aided by a bullshit umpire, but that's the first home run ever hit off of Savage in the MLB. Where's the link to watch? You got to get that on your own, man. I'm not getting my channel taken off by putting up links. Let's go, Polanco. Ground out, strike out, just get out. He was the hero in the bottom of the 15th on Friday. There we go. We got one out. Greetings, Hunter Stewart Hobbies. All right, let's get this Mississauga fuck out of there. This guy was born in Mississauga, hitting .222 in the postseason. Reguito, 386. Let's go, Blue Jays. Let's go. Go, Jays, go. Here's some positivity. Thank you, Reguito, for the 386. Go, Jays. Indeed. Not looking good already, but thank you, Reguito. Thank you very much. There's the ball. 1-2. Jeanette is here. Your back coworkers call you at the most inconvenient times. Don't worry, Jeanette. You're just missing us getting walloped. Ooh, fouled it off his foot. That's what took Nathan Lucas out of the game yesterday. What's up, Brandon? Greetings, Janice Pike. Hope all is well. We could be in for a long one at this rate. So yesterday I went to the Elephant and Castle, which is pretty much right outside St. Andrew Station. Had a Reuben sandwich and some beer. Walked down to the stadium. I recorded bits and pieces of it. I'm thinking of like stitching it together and making that a video. I just didn't feel like doing shit today. And I didn't feel like doing it. I was going to try to do it last night and have it uploaded for this morning had they have won. But since they lost, wasn't in the mood. Just went to bed right after the game pretty much. Kind of spent the afternoon doing nothing. Worked out. Watched some YouTubes. Now we're watching the game. I'll edit that after this. And so that'll probably be the video for tomorrow morning. Mojo just finished turkey dinner. You don't have room for a beer now? Double play ball. Oh, there's no runner on first. Savage getting rocked. Lisa went for a walk. You got back to the city. Now you're doing laundry. Otherwise, nada. Oh, there was no way Ernie could have got that. Even if he got that, he's probably not coming up with it and throwing him out. "25 pitches already for you, Savage." Let's go, you Savage. There we go. Right down the middle. Mojo's having a smoke on the balcony. Peel, he didn't go. Hey, we've got almost 90 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. I'll try to get back in the swing of things and doing regular Sunday Night Lives on this channel next Sunday, barring no baseball in the way. Not sure when I'll go live next on the main channel. That might be tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I might take tomorrow off. Maybe I'll just make a video or something. Steve Reich 3 gets him with the high heat. There we go. We'll take it. We'll take it. Got the game over on the big screen. Got it on the screen right in front of me. Sal Smith says stream behind. Your stream is behind? If my stream is behind, that's because of YouTube. My feed is pretty on time this time. Josh Naylor with the stolen base. Janice Pike saying hit the like button. So the Mariners are very different from New York. Their pitching is much better and their hitting is much worse. Although you might not know that the way this inning is going. All right, let's get him out here. Strike 3, we got him. We got him. We'll take it. All right, Springer, Lucas, and Vlad Jr. leading off at the top. Jillian Felix says, and subscribe for new videos. When did I last post a new video on this channel? The one where I was working out? Yeah, I got to get back in the swing of making some. Jenny K says, this is doable. If you Savage settles down, 3 runs is very doable. If you can't score 3, you don't deserve to win. Watching a commercial for Felix.ca. Now, Will Arnett. Hockey and RBC. BG says we are fucked. Martin Van Owen, there we go. Go Jays. It's hard to be positive after that start, but hopefully. Man, last night in those late innings, it was just like being at a funeral. The whole stadium was just like sad and kind of depressed. Harjot says, yesterday I went to the Diwali Festival of Lights at Nathan Phillips Square, and you did a video of fireworks. Neat. Eileen Dover is here. All right, half an inning down. 8 or 8.5 to go. So they put Schneider in at the last second, right? Didn't they have Santander in the original lineup? I don't hate it. We upgrade our defense. Their bats are kind of a wash. Santander never really got going. He did get one of the 2 hits we got yesterday. Greetings, Bloodhound. So this guy was 6-6, 3.44 ERA over the year. Mike Landry too, $2. Hello, Johnny. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy gobble gobble to you, Mike Landry. And if Americans are scratching their heads wondering what the hell I'm talking about, this is the Thanksgiving long weekend in Canada. A lot of school kids had Friday and Monday off. But thank you, Mike Landry. Cheers to you. Springer did something the Jays have never done before yesterday. He hit a first pitch dinger. Lisa has a full fridge of leftovers, and she's not mad. I should have had the Sunday roast yesterday. I went to a British pub, and they had a Sunday roast, and that's something I didn't do when I was in London. And everyone around me was getting the Sunday roast, and it looked really good. I opted for a Reuben sandwich instead. Springer fouls off down the line, 1-2. All right, let's get a few on the board. Remember, Savage had a very rocky start in his first inning ever against the Royals, right? And then he settled down and was pretty much fire after that. So hope is not completely lost. Mark D had the festive special at Swiss Chalet today. A friend just sent me a picture. They ordered Swiss Chalet for pickup, and they went in there, and there's like 1,000 Uber Eats drivers like standing around. And their order was like half an hour later than it was supposed to be. I think everyone in Canada is ordering from Swiss Chalet today. Springer! Deep left field! Oh! Just left of the foul pole. Looks like... Yeah, I missed it by like a couple of meters. Oof. Let's go, Springer. It's a great day for Harvey's Angus burger. Never mind chicken or turkey, says Carl Roth. Can't go wrong with the Angus burger. 2-2 to Springer. And this one he gets a hold of. Deep to left. To the warning track. Automatic double. Way to go, Springer. Jogs into second. This dude is fire at the top of the lineup. Whippy Dude says was going to go to Swiss Chalet. Might reconsider now. I would order off the app and see what it tells you as far as the wait times go. Bloodhound says they had Swiss Chalet last night for Thanksgiving. I was in the bar, and almost everybody at the Elephant and Castle was going to the Blue Jay game. Everyone was wearing, Blue Jays jerseys, hats, sweaters. But the couple next to us, they were going to Adam Sandler. I didn't even know Adam Sandler was in town, but he was playing at the Scotiabank Arena last night. I bet there was more than a few dudes who were there because their significant others bought them tickets to see Sandler, and they had to go knowing they'd rather be watching the Jays. What a shit feeling that would be. Let's go, Lucas. Yes! There we go. Lucas going to second. Springer scores 3-1. Runner on second. This is exactly what they needed. There we go. Now we're playing Blue Jays baseball, running up the counts, moving runners. I'm getting a message saying, yay! Oh, that was beautiful. They fucked up the transfer to first. Overthrew it. Springer scored. Now we got a runner on second for Vladdy. Whoa! Vladdy chucked the bat. I only had one foul ball come my way yesterday. And it was a good 10 feet from me. I guess that's pretty close, but not close enough to get a hand on it. Now the crowd's standing. All you need is a poke, Vladdy. I mean, we'll take a bomb, but just put it in play. Ooh, that was way inside. 1-1. Jillian says doing the wave. Probably. We didn't do the wave once yesterday. All right, so they've cracked this pitcher again in the first. Let's go, Vladdy. Seems like they're having pitch-com issues. Speaking of issues, Rogers Center, aren't you a telecommunications company? Your Wi-Fi was horseshit last night. All right, we'll take it. Vladdy grounds out, advances Lucas to third. All right, just put another ball in play, and it's 3-2. We got to start clawing back. If you're wondering what all the fans have, they give out these towels that say, I want it all when you enter the stadium. And I had a very noisy, obnoxious lady on my right who was like doing this, and I swear she was whacking me on the side of the head every time. All right, let's go. Bam Bam. Barger at the plate. Hey, we hit 100 viewers. Thank you, guys. Don't normally do these watch-along live streams to the Jays in the playoffs, but I thought I would today. I was going to be home anyways. Last time I streamed with the Savage on the Hill, we won. Let's go, Barger. Foul ball, 0-1. Lorraine McLean is here. Good evening, Lorraine. Zach McNally checking in. Let's go, Addison. Oof. Fouled into the J dugout. I got my Thai herbal inhaler, courtesy of Roam with Sign and Alex from Phuket Walk. 1-2. Ball outside. Good eye. Let's put the ball in play, Barger. Make this game 3-2. Yeah, there's a giant hole up the middle. They're really playing Barger to pull it. 2-2. Oof. Swing and a miss. He's down. Who's Jaws here? Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Hope everyone is well. Happy Monday to you. Janice says nibble on roast pork. Yes, Martin. Bottom of 1. All right, Kirky, let's go. Yes! Yes! We'll take it. Cashes in a run. The Blue Jays will not die. They've doubled yesterday's output. We'll take it. I got another message saying yay. We'll take it. Thomas says, hi, Johnny, from Tom and Sue in Chatham, Ontario. We used to go to Chatham when I was a kid. We played some baseball tournaments there. Yes! Ah, fuck. He hit it on the screws, but lined out just short of the warning track. We'll take it. Finder Place says, I don't have access to the game, so I appreciate watching through my sunglasses. Yeah, I don't think the MLB will bust me for rebroadcasting the game this way. My friend is asking me, I don't get why Barger wouldn't bunt. Yeah, I think Barger probably should have sacrificed there to move him over. Sanjay in Kingston says, did you ever come to Kingston for baseball? I don't believe I did. My brother might have. He was all over the province. Each time the Blue Jays get 9 hits or more in a game, you'll get a medium ice cap from Tim Hortons, only for rewards members. Seems unnecessarily complicated. Martin is listening on 590. The person I was with last night was trying to listen to the radio and watch the game in person. But there's 2 problems there. One, Rogers Stadium Wi-Fi was horseshit. It barely worked. It was constantly disconnecting. 2, Rogers mobile was horseshit. I guess there was just so many people there, the network was overwhelmed. Also, there's a massive delay between the Fan 590 website, if you're streaming through it, and what you see in person. I think if you brought like an AM radio and did it the old school way, it would sync up and you'd be able to like just listen to the radio almost in real time with what you're seeing. But with streaming, you're definitely behind. Kind of like how you guys think I'm watching in the past here. Randy Ruck has a good feeling about this. The Jays are going to bust out, hopefully. Lisa didn't know the Skydome Wi-Fi for people to use, but you wouldn't have thought to look for it either. Yeah, words are hard. You butchered that, and I read it as butchered as you wrote it. Well, it is Rogers. You'd think they would have Wi-Fi, right? That's supposed to be the thing they do well. But no, it was absolute dog shit. Mike T, remember seeing old guys with radios at games back when you were a kid? Yeah, I remember seeing people with like Walkmans and little radios with like antennas on them and their earbuds listening to Tom and Cheek. Happy Kirksgiving. All right. Let's go, you savage. 33 pitches, quick inning. We're right back in it. Victor Robles. I think it's Robles. It's spelled Robles. Robles? I think it's Robles. Did he go? Nope. 1-1. Yeah, this guy had that infield hit against Hoffman last night. Carl says Rogers and Tons intentionally took my game out the other night. They didn't want to see the Blue Jays win against the New York Yankees. Let's go, Trey. Line to right. Lucas got it. 1 out. Mike T says happy Turkey Day to the folks up north. Thank you, Mike T. I had scrambled eggs for breakfast. Then I had a turkey BLT from Tim Hortons. I went there to buy a coffee. I didn't feel like having a Keurig coffee. Then I worked out. I had a little protein smoothie. And then right before this live stream, I had a bowl of Mueslix. I'll probably eat one more time before bed. Carl Roth remembered seeing people with backpacks full of canned beer, and in that way back, they'd enjoy themselves for $4. Apparently, Josh Donaldson threw out the first pitch today. Last night, it was Edward Encarnacion. Dan Schulman reminding us that Trey Savage actually struck out the first batter, but for whatever reason, the umpire missed a clear as day strike 3. Pop fly. All right, we got 2 out. Jimenez had that the whole way. I don't know why Clement was getting so close. Want to know on a Rosarina, the dude who struck out his first at bat, but was ultimately walked because the umpire sucks. There we go. 1-1. If the Jays lose, I think it's time to stop wearing these blue and white caps. They should just go back to the all solid blues. There we go. 2-2. Steerike. Jenny K says, yeah, I'm not sure if you want to wear yours to work tomorrow. Well, hopefully they win, and you can proudly wear it. Strike 3. There we go. There we go. That looked like a slider. Just like in Kansas City. A little bit of a rough first inning, but he's settling down. As we go into the bottom of the second, Jays just need to scratch out a run to tie it up. And right after this game, we've got the Dodgers and the Brewers. Kind of interesting. The ALCS will have 2 games under its belt before the NLCS plays the first one. Martin says just let the starter pitch for the future. Hopefully, if he settles down, Schneider doesn't take him out early and he just lets him run, because he certainly kind of fucked things over yesterday, removing Gosman early. He got way too cute with our shitty bullpen. And I know someone right there sitting in the 200s. Mike T says, I think we can all agree that we need anyone but the Dodgers. I think Brewers versus Jays would be pretty awesome because they're easily the most complete teams. But it's probably going to be the Dodgers versus either us or the Mariners. Jenny K, my memory is a little fuzzy on that one. Mark D says, am I going to become a sports announcer? Heck no. I'm just a guy who is monetizing watching sports. All right, we got Ernie Clement, Davish Snyder, and Andres Jimenez coming up. It was cool to see Miles Straw get in the game last night. Not cool to see him come in at Nathan Lucas' expense due to an injury, but it was good that he at least got some burn in this round. Yeah, Carl, LA is like what the Yankees used to be, right? They just have unlimited resources. At least it says just a dude who talks a lot while mostly walking, but occasionally not. Something like that. What's funny is last night I was walking around the Sky Dome with my camera when I was entering the stadium, actually, on the ramp. And another guy doing the same thing passed me with the same camera, and he said, "Nice camera." And we both kind of laughed. Foul ball from Clement. And then later, I went up to record the Corona rooftop patio, and I decided to see what the view was like from the 500 level. So I walked out into one of the sections in the 500 level, and who was sitting right there? The dude with the camera. Like, there's what, 44,000 people in that building, and I chose to go walk and stand right beside the very place where he was sitting. Pretty, I guess it's not that unlikely, but fairly unlikely, I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Clement digs one out. Little duck snort to center field. We'll take it. Carl says, my last Blue Jays games were in the 200 section. Paid $20 for the tickets. Beer was $3.50 at the time. Quite the game. A lot of fun to be there. You do not want to know how much the tickets were last night. That was the most expensive event I've ever attended. That's all I'll say on that one. You'll see exactly where I sat yesterday. All right, Schneider, you got Clement on first. Where are these notifications coming from? Math Doctor says 500 level tickets went for $190 on Ticketmaster. All right, he moved the runner over. We'll take it. That's true, Randy Ruck. I totally didn't just pick my nose. Don't worry, that's not what I was doing. The camera just happened to blank out. All right, runner in second. All right, Jimenez, same thing. Move him over or cash him in. We could play some small ball, something we didn't do last night. At least they weren't striking out last night, but they were just not making great contact. Helena's here. Greetings, Helena. You wish Ricky was Ricky Henderson? That was ridiculous when we had Devon White and Ricky Henderson in the same lineup, batting first and second. And Alomar was typically the second batter in the lineup. That was an embarrassment of riches back then. That was the 93 team. All right, he puts him on third. All right, Springer. A hit ties the game. Let's go. Or a pass ball. We'll take either. Hit might be nicer, but pass ball will make me just as happy. All right, Springer. What is the inning? Bottom of second. WMD, does that stand for Walking Man Dude? Let's go, Springer. Ball one outside. That's weird. ESPN says Ernie Clement is at bat. It seems to be frozen. Oh, well. Springer takes one right down the middle. So you paid $1,000 for a ticket to sit in the 200 level? Not quite. I'll say it was under that for sure. Splitter that misses low. Ball 2, 2-1. Randy Ruck says they're going to walk him. Well, at least we're at the top of the lineup. Oof. Swings through some high heat. That might have been called the ball. 2-2. Come on, Springer. Base hit. He hasn't really been doing base hits. Everything's kind of been a double or long ball in the playoffs for him. What's up, Epic Nation HD? Springer rips one. Oh, that's the second tease Springer has done. He almost hit a homer in his first at bat. Ooh, and now he just hooks one. Let's go, Springer. Got Lucas on deck. Let's go. 2-2. The payoff pitch. Ooh. Ooh. This umpire, man. That was strike 3. We just got the benefit of the doubt there. I hate it. ABS, please. Mike T says that looked like... That was absolutely a strike to everyone except the doofus behind home plate. I don't want to score like this. I want to earn it. But they got a break, so I guess we get a break. It's only fair. Let's go, Springer. Fouled off. Math Doctor says the M's have been throwing 4-seam fastballs on the top half of the plate. Astute observation. Look at the dude with the cheese head above the TD logo. Oh, that was strike 3 again. He struck Springer out twice on that at bat. I'll take it, but I hate it. Who wants to get it done this way? Matt Doctor says, way to go. Well, he spotted them a runner who cashed in the first inning. So he's just a bad umpire. It feels like he should have more than 34 pitches at this point. I don't know. Missed balls and strike calls blow me off, or blow me off, piss me off more than anything. Oh, 1 on Lucas. He just took a strike. Yeah, there's a massive hole right at shortstop. Look for a pitch on the outer half and just take it up that way. Who has better pitching depth, the Mariners or Dodgers? I want to say the Dodgers. The Mariners have just a sick starting rotation, though. Lucas, yes! There we go. Go to third, Springer. Tie game. Runners on first and third. Lucas comes through. There we go. This guy spent 10 years in the minor leagues. So many players who do that eventually give up by then. He stuck with it. Now he's batting second in the ALCS. What a fucking beauty this guy is. Great swing. Nathan Lucas for City Bear. I was thinking he would try to go oppo with that giant hole where shortstop was, but he was able to pull that one into right field. And if you're a Mariners fan, you are so pissed off right now. Like, your blood is just boiling. They struck Springer out twice. So they're getting to feel what Blue Jays fans felt in the first inning. And now we got Vladdy. Runners on the corners. Let's go, Vladdy. Jenny K says, try not to. I don't think you can spoil things for me, Jenny. It's the YouTube feed that's delayed. My stream should be relatively not delayed. One and 0 to Vladdy. Ball outside. I'm going to refresh my ESPN feed here because the Math Doctor says your stream is like 30 seconds behind me. It's probably more like 15 seconds behind. Maybe in total, if you include the Sportsnet delay and then the YouTube delay, maybe it's like 30 seconds. Mojo saw a video of 3-year-old Vladdy in his Expo gear on the field with dad. Awesome. All right, let's go. 2-0 Vladdy. Inside. Barger on deck. Jenny Crookscamp says, dude behind home plate with the cheese head. Watch the dude with the cheese head if you're watching the game. He's been highly entertaining. I wish I could show him. Ooh. Now it's a strike. That was not a strike earlier, but now it's a strike. Is that buff macho guy behind home plate? He was there yesterday. The guy who like turns his bicep sideways so the whole world can see how big his arms are, because nobody sits that way naturally. I think that's him. Is it? That might be him. The guy in the powder blue hat. All right, 3-1, Vladdy. Sit on your pitch. Sit on your pitch. If you don't see what you're looking for, don't swing. You've still got another pitch to work with. Ooh, high heat, swing and a miss. Oh, that's such a bait pitch. That would have been ball 4 too. The down and away breaking ball and the heat that goes high are two pitches that are so irresistible to hitters. They almost always chase. They're very effective 0-2 pitches. Let's go, Guerrero. Fouls it off, 3-2. Dirt Weedern says, never mind his cheese hat. Check out his jacket. I haven't really been paying attention to his jacket. Now they're going with the behind the batter view of this pitch. It's quite glittery, isn't it? Does he take that jacket off and the cheese hat off when the Jays are pitching? That would be pretty badass if he did, just to distract the Mariners, but not us. Mojo says, where's Geddy Lee? I'm not seeing him. All right, Vladdy. Fouls it off again. But we've got Gilbert up to 45 pitches, and we've tied the game up. Lisa thinks she saw the dude with the glitter jacket in the wild. It's pretty cool the Mariners are sponsored by Nintendo. Nintendo used to be their owner. Oh, I think that's... Yep. Up the middle. End of the inning. Mariners bullpen scares you. Keep Gilbert in. At least we tied it. Although technically Springer should have struck out twice. What are Mariners fans saying about it? Pitch count through 2. Gilbert, 46. You Savage, 46. Bullpen better be sharp today. That should be it for Logan. He looks awful out there. Slider is garbage. Split is garbage. No fastball command. Doug Innings is so bad. Yeah, everyone's just pissing all over this umpire. Yeah, everybody just all over the umpiring in the Mariners subreddit. Marge says, LOL, almost an hour for 2 innings. All right, due up. We've got the big dumper, Rodriguez and Polanco, the hero from Friday night. Knotted at 3 apiece. I don't think Cal Raleigh should be the MVP. Aaron Judge clearly had the better season. But, 60 dingers for a catcher, that's pretty impressive. Lisa says, is that an official nickname? That is. Seattle fans have embraced the big dumper. And yes, he's a little on the heavy set side, so you can make of that what you will. Whippy Dude switched briefly to Fox, very different commentary. He's no Kirk. Imagine if they called Kirk the big dumper. All right, you savage. You settled down nicely in 2. Let's stay that way. YouTube is telling me the stream's current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. Hey, first pitch, fly ball, right field. Lucas got it. 1 out. Sit down, big dumper. Chris Mills says dumbest nickname ever. Is it? Is it the dumbest nickname ever? Julio Rodriguez. Let's ask ChatGPT. What are the dumbest nicknames in North American professional sports for players? I'll give it an example. The more you feed ChatGPT, the better it'll do. Okay, it's listing the big dumper for Cal Raleigh, Kung Fu Panda for Pablo Sandoval. I don't know. Kung Fu Panda's pretty good. The human rain delay, Mike Hargrove, for how long he took between pitches. El Caballo, the horse, for Carlos Lee. And Dennis Boyd, Oil Can. Who doesn't remember Oil Can Boyd? That was an awesome nickname. In the NBA, we have the Polish Hammer for Marcin Gortat. The Round Mound of Rebound, that's Charles Barkley. The Vanilla Gorilla, Joel Prisbilla. The Vanilla Granilla, or Gorilla, I don't know. Slightly racist overtones, but dude's white, so does it really count? Baby Jordan for Harold Miner. Great in college, flop in the NBA. Name aged poorly. Ground ball to right, Clement to second. They're not getting 2. But we got 2 outs. Tractor, Robert Trailer, no need to explain. In the NFL, we have the Amish Rifle, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Muscle Hamster, Doug Martin. I remember that. Captain Checkdown, Alex Smith. The Nigerian Nightmare, Broadway Joe for Joe Namath. I'm just reading some of the other ones. He Hate Me, Rod Smart. I remember that. Big Baby, Glenn Davis, NBA, Moose. A lot of players have had that name. Pitch Challenge is coming next year. What about the UFC? Has some pretty good ones, right? Let's ask it. What about MMA? There's The Nigerian Nightmare. Cupcake. Misha Tate. Big Tuna. Ben Parrish. Fly ball, center field. Let's go. Varsho coming in. No. Runners on first and third. The Cheesecake Assassin. Patty the Batty. Patty Pimblett. Uncle Creepy. Kamaru Usman was the Nigerian Nightmare. Well, he still is. Harjan asking how my Monday is going. It's going well. Didn't do shit today. Super hungover. Fly ball, center field. Varsho. Yes! What a catch! Varsho totally misread it. He took a terrible line to the ball. And then he got a diving catch. If you watch Varsho's route, it was terrible to this ball. I mean, we'll take it. That was almost a huge disaster. Like, why was Varsho... He was running in the wrong direction almost off the bat. We will take it, and I will be back. Jenny K says, amazing catch. Well, he made it a lot more interesting than it should have been. I'll be back. We back. March says Varsho is awesome. Well, these fans tonight already have a better game than I had last night. I'm not bitter or anything. You take that risk when you go to a sports game. Let's go, Barger. Unless you're a fan of both teams, I guess. Ball one, up and out of the zone. Barger batting .267. Nobody would have predicted this guy would be in the 4-hole, starting at third base, not in the outfield, earlier in the season. And truthfully, if Santander didn't get hurt, he probably wouldn't be in the 4-hole right now, and he might not have had the chance that he got. Let's go, Barger. Two and one. I think he probably has the biggest biceps on the team. His arms are like trunks, tree trunks, that is. They're ridiculous. Let's go, buddy. Yes, the cheesehead guy takes his hat off when the Jays are up. Just noticing. Marge says, BRB, going to make tea. You know, whenever you're going to leave, you do it when the Mariners are up, right? I timed all my bathroom and beer breaks last night right after the Blue Jays made their third out. That way, if you miss anything, you miss the Mariners hitting, not the Jays hitting. What's going on at home plate? Did he drop his pitch comp? The big dumper having problems behind the dish. Problem rectified. Hey, we got 100 viewers. Thank you, guys. I'm going to try to be back to the normal kind of streams next Sunday night. I apologize for the slight hiatus. Barger grounds out to second. Gilbert at 51 pitches. All right, Jays, just get him up over 65 this inning. Let's get him out. Kirk at the plate. First pitch. Takes it to right field, and he flies out. 2 outs. David Wardle says, hey, Johnny, hope you're well. Love the hat. Haven't seen that one. Then you haven't tuned in to the channels for several months. But thank you, David Wardle. Welcome to the stream. Whippy Dude says, rare Monday night stumbles. Not really a stumble. It's more just dude watching the baseball game. Didn't feel like doing it completely alone. All right, Varsho, let's go. One and one. Let's go, Varsho. Oops, I just turned the thing off. There we go. Pictures. Just going to update the thumbnail on this. Three and two on Varsho. Let's go, Varsho. Ah, fuck. Varsho strikes out. That's the inning. We're going into top of 4. No need to be sorry, David Wardle. Brett Mallon is here. Greetings, Brett. Thanks for tuning in. All right. I'm just updating the thumbnail so it's current. It's going to look almost exactly like the old one. Oh, well. Let's give it a name. Edit. There we go. Sal Smith says, "Foo. What's wrong? I don't know what you're talking about, Jillian. But if you're just tuning in, Mariners 3, Blue Jays 3, end of third. The fans tonight already have had a more entertaining game than I saw in person last night." Lisa says, "Womp womp." Let's ask a little question. Simple question. Do you have the game on? Are you watching this? SB2000 says sunglasses indoors, Johnny. Yeah, so you guys can see the reflection of the game. I'm not allowed to legally show it, so at least I can give you a little glimpse, or at least proof that I'm watching it and not just watching it on MLB Gamecast or something like that. 61% of you have it on. 39% of you just hanging out in the chat watching me watch the game. Lisa doesn't have the ability to watch it. Everybody who has an internet connection has the ability to watch it. I just can't share that. But I'm watching on the official Sportsnet feed. Dominic Canzone fouls it out of play. Eileen Dover is quilting too. There's a neat talent. Quilting, knitting, all that fun stuff that I could never do. Crocheting, there's another one. Howard Charco says, Fox at City TV, your delay is 12 seconds. Jenny Kritzkamp says, if you're watching Sportsnet, no delay. I'm watching Sportsnet, but it's through Amazon Prime. So it's a Sportsnet subscription, but you have to log into Prime to see it. But all right, it looks like your Savage is settling down nicely. Eileen says, you got a knit project going on. You quilt, make bags, rugs, bowls, anything with fabric. Neat. Do you make it for yourself or do they get sold anywhere? Whippy Dude says, I remember you hooked your mother up with watchable TV. I did. I just so happened to be on an official feed this time. Not that I wasn't last time. Not that, you know, someone is sharing their Sportsnet account with me or anything. No, this is totally the one I paid for. 1 and 2 to Robles. How is it possible to watch the game on your devices and electronics, says Julian Felix. There are many ways and many apps. Eileen says you sell a lot and you give a lot to charities, but you also have a bunch left here. Neat. Good stuff. Sounds like you're quite talented. Yes, strike 3. Come on. What are you doing? This umpire is horseshit. That slider was clearly in the zone. Look at Pete Walker. Look how pissed off he is. We should be out of the inning. This is bullshit. Can we please get rid of fucking humans calling balls and strikes? None of this challenge bullshit either. Just go full ABS. At least it'll be consistent. It'll be the same for both teams. It'll be far more accurate and consistent than a human being ever will be. And then you don't have to worry about, is there gambling money somewhere connected to the ump? Are there instructions being whispered down from the league to tilt the series one way or the other? All that bullshit conspiracy stuff, which I have no doubts has been true at some point, goes away. And it's just black and white. Strike is a strike, a ball is a ball. Flies out to center, but that costs you Savage 3-4 pitches. Alex says this umpire is terrible. It fucking ruins sports. Nothing is as bad as like basketball in the playoffs. Like the umps or the refs can literally choose who's going to win the game, as we saw, or the series, like what we saw with the Kings and the Lakers many moons ago. The most blatantly corrupt officiating of all time. This is probably just sheer incompetence. But it is fucking brutal, this game he's calling. The umpire scorecard is going to be like 80% accuracy. I don't know, John Schneider. Leave you Savage in there a while. He's settled. Oh! He's settled down. He's only at 68 pitches. We're in the fourth. He could easily keep going through 6. Do not pull him out early. There we go. Fly out to left field. We're out of the inning. Out of the half inning. Jenny Kritzkamp says don't pull him yet. Well, he pulled Gosman too early last night. He definitely pulled Barrios too early the last time we met the Mariners in the playoffs. But hey, middle of the fourth, we'll take it. Someone in the Seattle feed says, if you have the option to watch the Jays broadcast on Sportsnet, it's much better. They're a good crew that's giving the Mariners plenty of deserved credit. Another person says, I miss being up 3-0. At least the bottom of the zone is consistent. Consistently bullshit. Johnny, what do you think of an East-West alignment, not AL-NL? I'm okay with the AL-NL alignment. East-West would work too. But really, we should get rid of the division. However they align it, if they want to keep it AL-NL, or if they want to go East-West, both are fine. But get rid of the divisions, right? Just have the top 8 teams make the playoffs, period. Team 1 and 2, you get a bye through the first round. Right? Because the Yankees were the second best team, and they had to play the Red Sox in the wild card round. And then, being a little bit depleted, they had to go into the Jays series, when really Toronto and New York should have been on opposite sides of the bracket. So they got kind of fucked by that. And they're going to get fucked when Cal Raleigh wins MVP, even though it clearly should be Aaron Judge. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one, but I don't see them not giving it to Raleigh. One thing that's really cool about the renovations is just having the bullpens be elevated. I was able to see the bullpen action just sitting in my seat in the 200 level because they weren't like sunk all the way down at field level. All right, here comes Edward Bazardo. Didn't he pitch last night? ERA 2.52. He's got a whip of 1.02. Greetings, Christos. All right, bottom of 4. Let's go, Ernie. Let's go, Ernie. Yes. Oof. Down the left field line, but foul. Lisa says, you know what's not excellent about baseball? All of the spitting. It's so gross. Newsflash, Lisa. That is football and any outdoor sport. There's a lot of hockey too. They'll just spit all over the ice. You'll see them like lift their helmets up and like take a big hawk. Basketball, not so much. There's really nowhere to spit. Fuck. Clear ball 2. Ernie check swings and fouls off. Martin says, nice, you haven't been since the Reno. The Reno is excellent. Fuck. Oh, he might beat it out. He's out. Close play, but he was clear. Hey, the umpire just... Ooh, Cal Raleigh is down. Ooh, he is wincing. He hurt himself. Jack CW says, I say if you spit, you're out of the league. Spit tracker. His left ankle? It looked like he rolled his foot a little bit. He's a big dude, too. That's a lot of weight. Oh, but he's back up. Christo says spitting is an art. Here comes the Pink Pony Club, which means it's Davis Schneider. Let's go, Pink Pony Club. Jack CW always hated how... Yeah, the Raptors got a lot more hate for that. It wasn't all the fans. It was just some of them. And I don't think they were cheering Durant's injury as much as they were cheering the reversal of fortunes in that game, right? There's no way we're going to lose it. But yeah, to anyone cheering Kevin Durant getting hurt, you're a horrible fucking person. But I think there was more to it than that. I think people are like, oh, wow, we're probably going to win now for sure. I think that's probably what was going through their minds. But they had no business putting Durant out there. That was like a desperate move. He was clearly not ready to go again. 1-1. Bottom of 4. Ooh. That was outside. It should be 2-1. Instead, it's 1-2. Let's go, Schneider. It's a totally different at bat, 1-2 versus 2-1. Schneider with some words for the ump. He was probably jawing him out about the one before that pitch that was clearly outside. Krista says cooking 5 hours. You need wine. 5 hours straight. All right, Jimenez. I don't hate it if you get out now, bud. There's 2 outs, and we'll have Springer to lead off the next inning. So swing for the fences is what I say. Let's not get a 2-out rally going. Let's save Springer for next inning. Try to hit a home run. Not that the smallest guy in the game is all that likely to hit a home run. But let it rip, little man. But eat some pitches up while we're doing it. 2-1. Jenny Kurtzkamp says, well said. Yeah, we need to leave Savage in for another inning or 2. Fuck. Pops out to left. Jack CW says, my prediction is the Vegas A's stadium will be delayed and they will stay in Sacramento for an extra year-ish. I kind of liked the old Tropicana complex in Las Vegas. I thought it was nice. I mean, it wasn't as new or nearly as ritzy as a lot of the places on the Strip, but I liked going there. I played some low-limit blackjack while I was there. Spent some time on the slots. Slots with an O. It was also right across from the Luxor where I was staying. And it was way nicer on the casino floor than the Luxor floor. So it's kind of a shame it's gone. Hopefully a really cool stadium pops up on that lot. Not too far from the T-Mobile Arena. And Allegiant Stadium is actually not too far from it. Super duper close to the airport too. Martin says, still good. Go Jays, go. Please, John Schneider, do not take Trey Savage out. He hasn't given up anything since the first inning. And in that first inning, he got fucked over a bit by the umpire. Christo says, first time pairing white Sauvignon Blanc with turkey. That sounds like a good mix. I don't know, March. I stopped watching all Yankee podcasts right after that series. But they were definitely not giving the Jays a whole lot of credit for their success. Buck saying, I'm applauding John Schneider for leaving Savage in the game. Yeah, no shit. He's an idiot if he takes him out. 69 pitches. He hasn't given up a run since the first inning. First pitch grounder to Jimenez. Oh, bad throw by Jimenez. Fuck. They give a Rosarena second base. Jimenez. Eat the ball. Do not throw it. He was so far in the hole on that. He's really a second baseman, though. He should have ate that. He had a fast runner going. Might not have thrown him out anyways. All right. Looks like Schneider wants to challenge. Oh, that hit the player. Ooh, he might not be on second. He was on the top step. That's in play. I think they have to send him back to first. Top step is in play. All right, challenge it, John. If the umps don't go with you, challenge it. Hit the wall? I thought it hit the player, Sal. Can you challenge it? They should be able to challenge it. I mean, the ball would have gone in the dugout. He would have gone to second, but that's not our fault. Yes, they're challenging it. Sweet. I think this should be a pretty easy challenge to win. Yeah, I like this challenge. I like this challenge. I mean, you keep a runner out of scoring possession. I mean, they're just going to say ball was going to go out of play anyway, so out of play, even though that's bullshit because Suarez shouldn't be there if that's in play. Exactly. He's not supposed to be in play on a live ball anyways. What? The ball wasn't out of play. It hit Suarez, who was in play. Good job, New York. Way to fucking get your 10 million three-play wrong. That is a load of bullshit. He was in play when it hit him. First comment, of course they get it wrong. Yeah, no shit. There was player interference on the play, but the ball would have gone out anyways. No, don't take you Savage out. Come on, Schneider. I fucking hate this. Leave him in. This is... I mean, I like Varland. He's pretty lights out, but... That was another blown replay by New York. Player it hit was clearly in play. They said in the ground rules he was in play. That top step. Cringe challenge. Everyone, some people in our baseball saying that was a dumb challenge, but it's not a dumb challenge if he was in play. If that top step was considered in play, that's not a dumb challenge at all. Oops. Oh, well, it is what it is. I fucking hate that he took Trey Savage out. Schneider loves to take his pitchers out early, doesn't he? Schneider lives for it. He took Gosman out too early. He lives for it versus the Mariners, too, in particular. I would have left him in. Isn't this kind of like the last game I streamed where Schneider took Savage out too early as well? Proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays Home Hardware. Jack CW says, do you ever check out the live odds? Just curious. No, but I imagine the live odds just spiked in to the Mariners' favor. Here's Rodriguez, who hit the 3-run homer. Pitch 2 inches below the knees gets called a strike. Oh, well, at least this ump is horrible both ways. Come on, Varland. Let's get a double play ball. Ooh, nice pick, Kirky. Whew. High heat, 98, 1 and 2. Well, I don't hate that they walked Cal. Jeremy Joseph, greetings. All right, big moment here in this one. Let's go, Louis. Sit him down or induce a double play. Those are your only two options. This is when you're doing maximum butt clenching if you're in the stance. 2-2. Got him! Right down the middle. What was he looking for? What was he looking for? Great pitch. Watched a heater go right down the middle. Double play away from getting out of it. He must have been sitting on like a breaking ball or something because he was just frozen. That was a juicy pitch to get a hold of, too. It was sitting on the wrong pitch for sure. All right, here's Polanco, Friday night's hero. Or I guess Saturday morning's hero. Vivian says, hello and happy Thanksgiving to Jeremy Joseph. Happy Thanksgiving to all the viewers out there. The Toronto Blue Jays need a grand slam. Let's fucking go. Well, they need a run, but they need to get out of this jam first. 1-1 on Polanco. I just got a message saying they pulled their pitcher too soon again. I think so, but if Arlen gets out of this inning, I'm not going to hate it. Well hit to center. No, no, no. Fuck! John Schneider, you piece of fucking trash. Why are you taking Savage out early? It bites us in the ass every fucking time. Fuck you, John Schneider. Like, you live for this shit, don't you? I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back. I need to calm down. One sec, guys. All right, what did I miss? Christo says, any Toronto team do fucking well during the playoffs? Leafs are numerically eliminated from the playoffs already. No, the Leafs will make it to the playoffs. They'll just find a way to choke in epic fashion. Whereas the Blue Jays are sabotaging themselves from the inside. They did it last night with Gosman, taking him out too early. Plenty of gas in the tank. He was throwing well, low-scoring game. Same fucking shit tonight. The Savage easily could have gone through 5, probably 6. Had plenty of pitches left. Ump gives us a break. Pitch way off the plate. Mojo says got a break on that pitch. We did. And this after his debacle 2 years ago, taking Jose Barrios out for Yusei Kikuchi, a man with zero track record coming off the bench. So no matter what your analytics said, they did not favor us in that situation. And Barrios was throwing smoke. Holy fuck. Justin with $2. Happy Thanksgiving. LOL. Thank you, Justin. Thank you very much. Justin, cheers to you. All right, I'm going to put the game back on the big TV. I've got this idiot with the Blue Jay hat and headphones on. Man, we're going down 0-2 at this rate. And we deserve to, the way we're managing this. Hey, there's an ad for the John Candy documentary on Prime. I might have to watch that. But thank you again, Justin, for the $2. Happy Thanksgiving. Alexa, office light 100. Turn up that light. It's getting kind of dark in here. All right, Jays. Claw back. We've got Springer, Lucas, Guerrero Jr. Just do what you did at the top of the first. Get those 3 runs right back. Jenny Kritzkamp says, kind of glad you are not there tonight. Oh, man. I can't imagine having gone to this game and last night the way it went. Like, going to one game where they lose is fun. You're still there. You're excited. You're part of the atmosphere, right? It's kind of one of those, like, not too many opportunities in life to go see your team in the ALCS. Had really good seats. But if I did that 2 nights in a row and the results were the same 2 nights in a row, I don't know. I would not be feeling very good about myself if I was sitting in that stadium right now for the 2nd night in a row of this. At least the roof is open. Hey, Springer, let's ride. Gertich says the roof is open. Let's go, Springer. Bizardo versus Springer. These are like names from a video game that didn't have the MLBPA rights in the 90s, when they just made up names for all the players. That's what this sounds like. What was that game I'd always play? Bases Loaded, where all the players had names just like this, and they gave the umpires names. No word of a lie. The umpires in Bases Loaded on Nintendo were Yuck, Dumb, Boo, and Bum. Those were the actual names in Nintendo Bases Loaded. I don't know why I'm remembering this, but I always found it amusing. Springer, don't swing at that. Now I'm going to fact check myself. Yes, umpires are dubbed Yuck, Dumb, Boo, and Bum in the 1988 Nintendo game Bases Loaded by... Oh, fuck. Nice play. Naylor might have hurt himself on that. Janice says, claw back. Yeah, we need to get a run or two here. You cannot let Seattle ratchet up this lead anymore. Especially how lights out Seattle was once they went to their pen yesterday. Ooh. All right, Lucas. He's got 2 hits. Get yourself on for Vladdy. Sal says RBI was fun with the seasons. RBI baseball. I was a bases loaded guy. Not really into the sequels, but when Super Bases Loaded came out for Super Nintendo, we got that. And that one, it wasn't about seasons. You were trying to play the perfect game. So it would like rate every game on 0 to 100. And you'd have to move up each level. And to like beat the game, you'd have to play, hey, base hit to right field. Lucas, he is on fire today. 3 for 3. Jess says, I'm saying it's best of 7. Let's see. We're about to go to Seattle, possibly down 2 games. I mean, they're going to have to win basically all 3 games if they go there down 2. If they win 2 of those games, we're coming back to Toronto still down 3-2. It's so important they split these first 2. Ooh, Vladdy takes the pitch right down the middle. Vladdy's 0 for 6. World Series on Sega was pretty good. It was. The graphics on that were unreal. That was the first game to like get all the stadiums pretty down. I just loved playing World Series baseball on my Genesis, just going to different stadiums. That alone made it kind of worth it. I don't think any other game quite got them that right. A lot of games only had like a few generic stadiums. Bases Loaded only had the one stadium. Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run. That was nuts. You'd play your friends at that. Your scores would be like 40 to 35. Johnny, it's pretty sunny in your place. That's so you can see the reflection. Why not chant Go Jays Go, says Janet. It's hard to chant that when you're busy being depressed. But that's the beauty of sport. We get in the board, get a little pick-me-up. Come on, Vladdy. He's 0 for 6 this series. Ooh. He chases a pitch way off the plate, but fouls it off. No, he didn't go. He didn't go. All right. 2-2 count. Vlad thought about the Yankees too much. Vlad needs to, you know how you're supposed to picture everyone in the audience is naked? Vlad needs to picture all the Mariners wearing Yankees jerseys right now. Ah, Vlad. Hits a dribbler back to the mound. Lucas goes to second. All right, Barger. Get Lucas home. Get Lucas home. We gave Ken Griffey Jr. the business way out in left field bleachers, says Mojo. Vladdy, not really making good contact at all. Bizzardo has the Jays numbers. Let's go Addison Barger. Whew. You always got free tickets when the Mariners were in town. Nobody wanted to go. They had some good players. One of the Martinez, Tito Martinez, Jay Bueller, Ken Griffey, Randy Johnson. Some legendary names. Ichiro. Maybe not all at the same time, but Edgar Martinez. That's it. Tito Martinez. Yeah, he might have been a Mariner too, right? Didn't they have two Martinezes? Let's go, Barger. This is not how we were meant to die. Ooh, that was way inside. 2-2. I'm going to watch this on the big screen. A little bit better luck. Let's go, Addison Barger. Fuck! I'm going to go make a coffee and come back. Enjoy your silence from me. Go Jays. This is what it feels like to be a Yankee fan in the playoffs. we're back. What did I miss? Seattle's got a runner on third. What did I miss? Mitch Garver triples on a sharp fly ball to right field. Fuck. Jenny K says this is bad. My weed grinder is 21. Yeah, I would put a runner on here. I would walk just to get the double play that'll end the inning lined up. But we do have the number 9 hitter up. And they've got Crawford. Mike T says, I don't want to know what I missed. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, that's a strike. Holy fuck. Can we get ABS, please? Clear as day strike. Called a ball. Why am I surprised? Fluharty. Yeah, if this isn't the number 9 spot, I probably walk this guy just to induce or to hope for an inning-ending double play. Yeah, the runner's definitely going on contact. After this game and stumbles is done, I may have to clean this area, says Vivian. Sharon says, I don't know what's more entertaining, me or the game. Definitely not me. This game is very entertaining if you're a Mariners fan. My friend just says, this umpire is ass. I'm interested to see his scorecard after this terrible. It's been fucking awful both ways. All right, let's go. Fluharty, strike 3. Ball outside, 3-2. I don't hate if this guy draws a walk here, just because you have that, as long as he doesn't steal second. Dirt Weeder says the Bills play in 15. I'm going to have to put that up on the big screen. We got the Bills going tonight. Little Canadian Thanksgiving Monday action. And we've got the Dodgers and Brewers. Chop foul. Mojo switching to the Bills soon. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Man, the bottom. No words. I have no words. We're down 7-3. Top of 6. We're down 7-3. These dominoes all started falling in the Mariners' favor when we pulled Trey Savage, when he clearly had a lot of gas in the tank and was pitching well. Let that sink in. Kind of remind you of what happened last night when he pulled Kevin Gausman. Yeah, put me on the I am not a fan of John Schneider ride, because I am not a fan of John Schneider. Or Ross Atkins, or Mark Shapiro. Oh, why are you being so cute with your pitchers? Our bullpen is trash. Jenny says quit. Yeah, but we're into our shit bullpen. He's got to play this game now. But did we not see what Seattle did to our bullpen last night? Matt Doctor says, I like Schneider, but he's too reactive. Needs to know when to hold, when to fold. I truly believe he wasn't fired after pulling Jose Barrios a few years ago versus Seattle because that wasn't his call. I think that decision was made by the front office, someone in the analytics department, even though it makes no sense because Kikuchi had zero track record coming off the bench as a reliever in the playoffs. So they had no way to know, other than he had more favorable matchups, how he would do. Because it's just a completely foreign situation for Kikuchi. That whole situation should have been whoever made that decision got fired. But I think because Schneider took the heat for the front office, he got to keep his job. A lot of people were very surprised he wasn't fired over that. But what we've seen here with his decisions last night and his decisions today, you could coach your ass off all year. But if you're going to do that, I want someone else on the hot seat. Like, you can live with yourself if a starter who's pitching well, you know, coughs something up in the 4th, 5th, or 6th inning. But when you take him out and the reliever gets roughed up and that costs you the game like it did last night, like it's doing tonight, like, you can't live with yourself doing that. Yeah, look at those fans. They look upset, and they should be. I mean, you got to give Seattle credit. They're actually putting the runs on the board. They're actually taking us yard. Like, give them their due. They're fully capitalizing on our stupid ass managing and our shitty bullpen. But we are clearly sabotaging this from within. Martin says, go Jays, go. Only 2 games if they lose. The problem is they're going to Seattle for 3. So barring a miracle, we're basically punching Seattle's ticket to the World Series with a loss tonight. Come on. Rosarina, 1-2. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get to eat shit and they come back and win tonight. Or they win 3-3 in Seattle. I will very gladly eat that shit if I'm wrong. Sal says the Raptors were down 0-2 and 1 point. Yeah, basketball is a different game. Basketball, one player gets hot. They can take over and make all the difference. Baseball, you can't do that. No one can put the team on their back. Too many moving parts. All right, we got a strikeout. We'll take it. 2 outs. I mean, it's a pitch 2 inches off the plate. It wasn't even close to being strike 3. This umpire, man. Lisa says it ain't over till it's over. Well, don't look at the live odds. This is one of the worst strike zones I've ever seen, let alone in a playoff game. All right, let's get Raleigh out here. Oof. Oof. That went like 500 feet. Holy shit. He knocked it off the facing of the 500 level, just right of the foul pole. All right, big dumper. One and one. There's a runner on first. I almost just want to walk Raleigh here. Why pitch to this man? He just murders you. This is like what the Yankees were feeling when they faced Vladdy last series. All right, we'll take it. Borderline outside. Raleigh didn't like it. That was genuinely a pitch right on the borderline. That could go either way. You can't really complain about that. Martin says take some antidepressants. Let's go, Fisher. Man, props to these Blue Jays fans. They are standing up and clapping. 2-2 to rally. Someone messaged me saying, too much swearing, but good commentary. Thank you. Put it in his ear. Yes! Strike 3. Sit down, big dumper. All right, Toronto, erase the nasty taste of John Schneider's poor managerial decisions. Let's get some runs. We got Kirk, Varsho, and Clement coming up. Chris Mill says, as George Michael said. Did you say that in a Ron Howard voice? Jenny Kurtzkamp says it's still doable. Yeah, if we can scratch out a couple of runs here, it's within reach. It's within reach. Martin says, love swearing. I always feel a little bit bad when someone's like, you know, my little ones love your channel. We watch you all the time. I'm like, what videos are you watching here? Because if I had like a little one watching me, I think my hands would be over their ears half the time. Oh, did you guys hear a Korean live streamer who had a very unhealthy parasocial relationship with one of her viewers was murdered shortly after one of her live streams earlier? It happened to a Japanese live streamer earlier in the year. And just recently, Action Kid sent me the link to it. Let me pull up his text. So this apparently... Korean streamer murdered after arguing with VIP viewer who had donated $70,000 to her. The Korean streamer has been found dead, and a viewer has been arrested for murder after donating tens of thousands of dollars to her. That is such an unhealthy situation. Like, this person apparently thought they were entering like a business arrangement with the streamer. Like, if anyone said, hey, can I send you that much money? I would say, unless you're like a millionaire and money just doesn't have any value to you, please don't. I don't want to feel like, you know, obligated or in debt to you. I would just outright, if you were like a millionaire, go nuts, send whatever you want, right? But if you're just like, this dude was apparently broke and like he's sending every last penny to this girl. And she didn't kneel to his desires in terms of going down the road together as business partners, and he murdered her. That's the long and short of it. There's obviously more to it than that, but rest in peace. That's the article. Oh, man, beautiful human, tragically lost. There's no words for that. Yoon Jia. And it happened to that Japanese girl too earlier in the year. BG says, I think the streamer was scamming this poor man. The man was misrepresenting himself. He said he was very successful and well off. So if you pose from that, like, how is she scamming him? Right? She just took his word for it at what he was. Maybe she was dumb for not doing her due diligence. But, I mean, a fool and their money are easily parted, right? Like, when you donate to someone, that's it. They owe you nothing. Yeah, so, I don't know. I just know what it said in the article, but... shitty situation. Rest in peace. Hopefully that piece of shit rots in hell and jail for the rest of his existence. Let's go, Kirk. 0-2. Back to baseball. Mojo says, my only stalker is the Grim Reaper. Sorry, dark humor. It's all good. Let's go, Kirk. WMD says, WMD is not Walking Man, dude. What is it then? Don't say weapons of mass destruction. Vivian says, that was just a stalker and there are many kinds of stalkers and everyone needs to be aware of them. Yeah, I am not a fan of like surveillance states and that sort of thing. But if there's any good that could come out of that, maybe just like the proof is in the pudding. I was being followed. You can clearly see that. I don't know. WMD is your initials. Oh, there we go. Kirk! Foul ball, right side. Yeah, stalking's not cool. Get a life. I can honestly say I have dealt with that. Not as the stalker. Grounds out to second. But yeah, first things first. I mean, the police aren't going to do much, at least not at first, but you got to get that shit on the record, right? You got to start building up your case. Go to the fucking police and make that report. As disinterested as they may seem, that's a vital first step if you think you're being stalked. Lisa says, next colleague stalked me for a few years. Yeah, that's scary. All right, Varsho, pitch up. Just reading some of your messages. Kind of a dark topic. Sorry to go there, but that was one of those things that just kind of hit a little different when Action Kid sent me that earlier today. It's not the type of article that you just like read and go, that was interesting, or that sucked. It's something that kind of hits home a little bit. Poor girl and all her loved ones and people close in her life. Let's go, Varsho. Jenny Kurtzkamp says, yeah, Schneider is standing there saying, I have to. Well, he did it with Pete Walker, at least, right? It takes two to make those stupid decisions. He's got a pitching coach in his ear as well. Ooh. Oh, I thought he popped out there. Hey, those Jays fans are wearing that same towel. Where did I put that thing? Should we go rally hat? There we go. 3-2 of our show. Grind it out. Grind it out. Get on base. I don't know, Jenny, but he's probably saying that. Varsho foul ball. At least he's running up the pitch count a little bit on Vargas. Varsho and Vargas. Both of their names start with VAR. They're both 6 characters long, and they both have an S in them. What are the odds of that? Hey, Varsho, right field. He got a hold of it. And it's caught on the warning track. Christopher says the Jays just got to get on base and start to cut the lead down. If they don't start now, they'll start to press when the outs dwindle. Exactly. They got to get a few back. Down 4, it's just too far out of reach to get all back at once. You got to claw a few back and give yourself a chance going into that bottom of the 8th and 9th. They go into the bottom of the 9th down 4, facing the Mariners closer again. It ain't going to be pretty. The 6th and the 7th, this is the time to get a couple of runs. Hold them steady. I mean, they've scored 4 runs in 15 innings now. It's not good. Or 14 and 2/3. Let's go, Ernie. Martin says, I know the first few games are at home are important, but it's 7-game series. Well, You don't want to know what the statistics say when the home team blows the first two games in a best of seven in a 2-3-2 setup. She ain't pretty. We'll just say that. Let's go, Ernie Clement. 0-2, way outside. Jenny K says it's like they've given up. I think their offense, they're just clearly pressing. And it's why you can't say, oh, they would have lost anyways if Schneider didn't pull Gosman early. Or they would have lost anyways if he didn't pull you Savage early today. Because everything that plays out is different, right? If he leaves those starters in, the offense might not need to press so much, right? Every single at bat, the whole complexion of the game is different. Like, things just don't happen the way they did. All right, let's go. Let's be positive. Let's keep the Mariners to 7. 2/3 into the game. Mariners 7, Blue Jays 3. Janice says your t-shirt is providing no luck. Randy Ruck says, let's put it this way. Things aren't right now. I don't know what Lisa... Oh, Lisa says, unrelated to this game, but I took the ferry this weekend in Niagara that was free and cute in the Port Robinson area. You park for free, walk up, and two random nice dudes walk over and take you to the other side on a small boat. That sounds as creepy as it does awesome, but the fact that you said random nice... I don't like random, but I like nice. Matt Doctor says, what's for supper tonight? I don't know. I don't know. I might go out and get like a shawarma or something. I wish I was drinking for this one. But I just had a few too many at the game yesterday at $17 a pop for Bud Light. What an awesome, awesome thing that is. I love having someone hand you a can of beer, open it for you, and then being prompted to tip 20% on a $17 Bud Light. Yeah, sorry, I ain't tipping you. Sorry, not sorry. Normally I tip bartenders, but do you tip someone who just like opens up a can and hands it to you when there's a long ass line of people just doing that over and over again? No, I draw the line at that. I mean, if it was like a $10 can of beer, sure, I'll give you an extra $2. That's cool. Jillian says 17 for a can of pop, can of beer. That's what it costs. 17 for a Bud Light. I better have got my 5 times points on that from American Express. Probably not in yet, because I would have got a lot of points from that game last night. Let's see my rewards balance. Kimchi House, Korea, 402 points. Kimchi Korea House. Yeah, the purchases I made at the Skydome yet aren't in my points activity report. Martin says, I'm drinking for sure. Maybe that's my current positivity. Oh, shit. I got to edit a video after this. My video of going through the Skydome. I was hoping that they won last night. I would have posted that this morning just to ride the momentum a little bit. And then I was like, well, they'll probably win tomorrow, and then I can post that Tuesday morning. But nope, it's going to be a Blue Jays Skydome video after they lost 2 in a row. Helena says at least they opened it. They have to by law. They can't hand you a non-opened beverage. Scherzer, the game 4 starter with Bassett in the bullpen. I don't like that. All right, we'll take the strikeout. 1 out, top of 7. Here comes Polanco, the man who's murdering us. Vivian says, I laugh when you say how much you pay for drinks. Last mixed drink you had at a bar cost $3.50. At the Elephant and Castle, it was like $9 or $10 for my beer. But when you go to a sports venue, also remember they have to staff it, they have to stock it, and like their window of operation is like 3-4 hours, right? So they have to put in all the effort that like a normal business does, but they only operate some days of the week in a very short window. So it makes sense that the prices would be inflated in a sports venue. But to the extent that they are is insane. Airports, they do the same shit, right? And I think airports just do it because, like, where the hell else are you going to go? You're captive. But for sports venues, I get it. I mean, the margins aren't big enough to charge like the same prices as everywhere else for given how limited their operating window is. Mojo says 2 years ago at the Dome it was 15 and change. Yeah, so $2 more. It's probably about what inflation has been over the past few years. Yeah, Christopher, I would almost rather go with the bullpen game or a Bassett game than Max in game 4. And if it's an elimination game, I would just skip that and go straight to Gosman. I mean, it's not like Gosman threw a lot of pitches last night. He should have plenty of gas in the tank. Mojo says originally there was no beer allowed. When did they first allow beer at Exhibition Stadium? Because wasn't Labatt Blue like the original owner of the Blue Jays or one of them? I'm pretty sure Labatt owned the Jays at one point. If not, they were like the main sponsor. Math Doctor says play Mad Max for an inning or two, I guess. I don't know. I would be happy not seeing him take the hill in the playoffs the way he's been at the end of the season, but there's Josh Naylor, the Mississauga boy. Well, I would have been 9 in 89. Ooh. Good night. Good night. This is my disbelief look. So, how about them Maple Leafs? That guy with his hands on his face, that just like that was me last night. Mariners are red hot after the trade deadline, 34 and 20. Epic Nation HD says the Leafs lost today too. How about those Dodgers? Says Jetty Kurtzkamp. DOG, like the Dogecoiners. Sal Smith says they'll run out a run soon. All right. Well, they let the Yankees come back after being down this much. Let's see if the Blue Jays can do that. The TSN turning point of the game was taking Trey Savage out far too early. I cannot repeat the message I just texted to my buddy who lives in Seattle, but basically I was saying congrats to him. March says, hey, the Raptors won yesterday with 1.2 seconds left. Was that a preseason or regular season game? Yikes. Somehow, I think going to the game today would be worse than going to yesterday's game. At least yesterday, there was that like feeling of hope and excitement, and there was a buzz. He went to Joan of Arc Secondary School in Mississauga. Look at these fans, man. They are witnessing the M word in person over their own team. All right, Uriel Rodriguez. This is a good time to give Max some burn on the hill in a game. This is what Max Scherzer should be for. Little mop-up duty. But congrats to Seattle. They had the door open for them, and they walked right through it. Chris Mill says Getty still holding out. Come on, Yariel. Oof. Well, this is what we did to the Yankees game 2 last series. Bill Patinsky, you mean Jelly Bean. Yeah, you can fuck off and never come back to the channel. That was Jelly Bean, by the way. Pretending they have access to DMs from me. What a piece of shit. Rodriguez, ball 4 outside. Come on, let's go. 9-3, top of 7. Chris Mill says, this is how Leafs fans feel all the time. Oh, this is painful. There's a strike. Sal Smith says, wonder how many Jays fans show up in Seattle. Lisa says, speaking of stalkers. Well said, Lisa. Jenny Kurtzkamp, did I say how glad I am you aren't there, Johnny? There's a pitch inside. You can hear the fans booing. Can you blame them, Jillian? Can you blame them? Jeanette, welcome back, Jeanette. You have witnessed me having a bit of a meltdown. Today is worse because of starting well and downhill. Skywalkin says, what happened to Jellybean? Got the ban hammer. A very well-deserved ban hammer. I decided enough bullshit was enough and banned her. Mike T says, welcome to just a little taste of what it's like to be a lifelong Pirates fan. Hey, Mike T. We're in the same club. Awesome. Ooh, this sucks. I just want the Jays to be up already. Let's just get through the inning. Let's just get through the inning. Ball low. Whew, runners on first and second, all out of coffee. Chris Bassett, why would you put, maybe get him some burn. Get him a little bit of work and some game action. He should be starting game 4. But man, I think Max Scherzer should be like mop-up duty right now, not Chris Bassett. There's a strike. Thanks, Blue. Thanks for the call. Chris Mill says Bassett is up, needs the work. Yeah, I'd rather it be Max, to be honest, but it is what it is. Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, 7-7. Hey, I've got Josh Allen as my quarterback. I'll take it. I've also got Bills defense. I've got Khalil Shakir. But my team has a 12% chance of winning, so I'm not going to win. There we go, Bills. Let's put the game up on the big screen. That's enough Blue Jays taking up the big OLED. What channel is it on? TSN? Well, I'm assuming it's on TSN. The channel guide was blacked out for some reason. Oof. Walking the bases. All right, Seattle. Are they going to put us out of our misery here, or are we going to keep going? Jenny Cases, people are sitting there like we could have had turkey. Hey, we've got 112 viewers right now. Thank you, guys. Mojo says I still haven't seen Getty. Getty was wise to stay away from this one. All right, is Bassett coming in? Chris Mills says he is there. Math Doctor says random, not very... Fact, 16% of teams down 2-0 in a best of 7 end up winning the series. What percentage of teams do that when they're on the road for games 3, 4, and 5, Math Doctor? That's the stat you need. You know what? I can answer that. What percent of teams come back in a 4 of 7 series down the first 2 games with the next 3 on the road in playoff baseball? Let's see what ChatGPT says. Greetings, Flick Hunter. Welcome to the funeral, Flick Hunter. Teams down 0-2 in a 7-game series have won about 16% of the time. But your scenario is harder. I'd estimate maybe 10 to 15%. You're estimating, so ChatGPT unable to tell me. It's guessing. Well, ChatGPT, that is not good enough. Let's see what Google Gemini has to say. When teams are down 2-0 in a best of 7 and they have to take it to the road for the next 3. The scenario only happens when the team that is down 0-2 is the higher seed that had home field advantage. No shit. Teams that lose games 1 and 2 at home and go on to win the series. The 1985 World Series Kansas City Royals. They lost games 1 and 2 at home, 1 in 7 games. Was that not the series? Oh, they played Toronto and came back before that. The 1986 World Series, the Mets did it. The 96 World Series, the Yankees did it. and the 2020 NLCS. So there have only ever been 4 successful comebacks in the best of 7 series where a team lost the first 2 games at home and had to win 3, 4, and 5 on the road to get the series back in their park. So it's calculating the Jays' odds if it was consistent with the way everything else has gone in Major League history as 11.1%. Alrighty, I'll take it. 1 in 10. I mean, we went into the series like around even odds. But hey, double play ball, and they get a few runs on the board. We might be back in it, right? Glass is half full. Glass is half full, maybe. Getty is 4 rows up to the left of the umpire beside his grandson, says John Nicholson. Claudia M., good evening. Happy gobble gobble to you and to all our Canadian viewers. Let's see if I can see Getty here. 4 rows up to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's Getty. Yeah, he's wearing a hat. Flick Hunter says, as an insider, you could have got a pair of tickets today for $9.50. Where were they, Flick Hunter? I'm curious. Where were they seated? I was in section 214 last night in seats 5 and 6 in the first row. Will not disclose how much they were, but they were a little bit more than that. Lisa says hope shouldn't be a calculation. All right, Bassett, let's go. Sit down, Crawford, or get a double play. Chris Bassett playing for a new contract this offseason. I think his work is done. I mean, he's coming back off an injury in the playoffs. I think you're going to look at his performance before this when it comes time to determine his worth. But he'll get offers for sure, whether they're from the Jays or not. If you're good enough to be a 3rd, 4th, or even 5th rotation starter, you'll have a job. Three-two. Let's go. Sit him down. Foul ball. The inning continues. Chris Mill says massive pitching changes next year and maybe no Bo. Yeah. I mean, we kind of found some gold this year in like Lucas. We knew Schneider was going to be good. Santander is hopefully going to be healthy and have a full season, even though he kind of sucks in the outfield. Barger was a nice find. So I don't think no Bo is the end of the world. Plus, we'll get an upgrade on defense, right? Bo's not a great defensive shortstop. So it'll hurt to lose him if they do lose him, but they got to shore up this bullpen. This bullpen is so bad. Watch Bo go to the Yankees. I mean, Bo is also always hurt too, right? Like, I like Bo, but I think they can throw money at someone else. It's not the end of the world to lose him, but not shoring up this bullpen is going to kill them. And add a starter or two will help. Line to Varsho in center. Tagging. They're going home. And 10-3. Boom goes the dynamite. Chris Mill says not the best defensively. His bat, though, has been solid. Yeah, and he kind of, with Vladdy, gives them a really tough part of the order to pitch around, right? They really benefit from having each other's presence in there. But if Santander was like hitting 30, 40 homers like he's supposed to, I mean, we would have had that in the lineup as well. I don't know. I think Bo will be good for his next contract, but I don't want that guy in his like mid-30s. He his whole game relies on his quickness, right? His quick hands, being able to catch up to pitches he has no business catching up to. Like, once he starts to slow down, I don't think he's going to age gracefully like a Cal Ripken. I think he's just going to be a guy who, I mean, he's not going to move to, he might move to second or third base, but probably not shortstop. And his batting average isn't going to hold up when he starts to age. That's just like how he plays. He's such a quick player. There we go. Got him. Got him. All right. Let's go, Jays. Let's put up 7. Let's have a 7-run 7th. I'm going to go. I'll be back. Hey, I missed an out. What's a 7-run comeback with 8 outs to go? A? Dan Schulman saying they've faced adversity before, but they're facing some now. They're not facing adversity until they go into game 3, because there's no adversity this game. It's done. Chris, the Pepsi driver, 93 Jays beat the Sox in 93 and 6. It's not over, people. Chris, the Pepsi driver. Cheers to you. Good enthusiasm. They beat the Sox in 93. Is that who they're... I don't think that's possible. Who are they playing in 93 in the ALCS? Because that was the old 2-division setup, right? And the Jays and the Sox were both in the Who did the Jays play in the 93 ALCS? Oh, the Chicago White Sox. I was thinking Boston for some reason. Thank you, Chris the Pepsi driver. Cheers to you. I'm an idiot, but thank you, Chris the Pepsi driver, for 1 month of being a stumbler. All right, Jays. Let's go. 7 runs. Easy as pie. Easy as pie. They've got a Canadian warming up in the pen for the Mariners. Ooh. 3-2. How sad. I really wanted to see Shohei and Roki get on a plane to Toronto. Mojo says the Bills are still tied. Yeah, it's 7-all. I've got it on the big screen. Got baseball on the small screen in front of me. All right, Jimenez. Drawing the walk. Let's go, Springer. It's very hard to be enthusiastic. Thoughts on the bleacher creatures for the Yankees, Johnny? I don't know, Justin. That's an odd question. Let's go, Springer. Let's go. Outside, he kind of waves at it, but holds up. We'll take it. Nice hack. Fouls it off. Right side. Chris the Pepsi driver says, my IPTV is right behind your stream. Well, there's a bit of a delay because of YouTube, right? And I'm using a actual official stream this time. Springer flies out to right field. 2 outs. Robles with the easy grab. All right, Lucas. Come on, let's get to this inning. Let's do it. 5 runs is somewhat conceivable in the last 2 innings. 7 runs, not very doable. Lucas, he's 3 for 3 today. Ooh, that is up. This umpire is ass. Oh and 1 when it should be 1-0. 0-2. You mean all your TV watching isn't official? I didn't say that. I just said this one is official. If the CRTC and some RCMP cops knocked on my door and were like, we need to inspect the shit you're watching. Well, first of all, I would say, do you have a fucking warrant? Because you're not stepping foot in here without one. And then if they did, I'd be like, here you go. Legal as fuck in here tonight. Lucas swings and misses. Mariners, 10 runs on 9 hits. Speaking of totally official, I'm going to find a different channel for the Bills game. Sunday Ticket. What's next for Gaza Peace Plan? That is... My guide isn't working. What channel are the Bills on in the USA tonight? Keyword in the USA.
Bills game against the Falcons is on ESPN tonight, Monday, October 13th at 7:15 p.m.
ESPN?
It will also air on ABC.
Canadians don't have ESPN. It'll also air on ABC in some markets. Let me see if my totally legitimate Canadian TV provider here has ESPN. ESPN Espanol, ESPN Plus. No, we do not have that in Canada. Why don't I just search for bills? Movie, 30 tips to cut your bills. That's what showed up. Amazing advice on cutting your bills with ingenious hacks, how to eat more cheaply, shopping tips, transport your savings and personal finance for surviving the cost of living crisis. What channel are the bills on in Canada? Because it's not TSN.
While TSN usually carries Monday Night Football, every NFL game in Canada, including the Bills game tonight, is available for streaming on DAZN.
DAZN?
The French broadcast is on RDS2.
DAZN? Mojo got it on TSN. My TSN was showing, well, I'm not going to say what happened to it. All right, Josh Allen under center. There we go. We got the Bills on. Bills 7, Falcons 14. Boo. NBC Channel 2, Buffalo, says Whippy Dude. WGRZ. Using those old-timey call letters. I'm surprised someone didn't say WKRP. Uh-oh, one of my lights went out. And she's not coming back to life. I got to fix this. One sec. Make it a little brighter in here. Just saw an ad for Chat GPT, says Digital Blade Canada. All right, all is well. We've got the Bills over there. Cal Raleigh at the plate. Streamer calls after the game, says the Laughing Man. No, I got work to do after this. I got a really annoying video to edit for tomorrow. Bassett ahead, 1 and 2. I'm just going to say whatever Dan Schulman says here. That way I'll sound all smart. Barger. Okay, that light just went out again, but that light is still on, so all right. Not sure why that light just went out. I blame John Schneider for this loss and credit the Seattle Mariners for taking advantage of our dumbasses. Chris says, I'm going to be working around DuPont and Ossington. When? Gertej is glad the Raptors are back. Whew. Let's go, Bassett. Julio Rodriguez. Mojo blames society. It's always good to have a scapegoat, right? Makes you feel a little better about yourself. You get to be like that backseat driver. Blue Jays fans should be booing the team at the end of the game. Mr. B says, blame Schneider for yesterday's loss. Mariners were just better today. I subscribe to the butterfly theory. If he doesn't take Savage out, we have no idea how that game plays out after that, right? That was a domino that fell. And every single thing that happens after that is completely different than it would have been. So Schneider definitely, in my opinion, opened up the door for the Mariners, and they bust right through it with that 3-run bomb. And then the Jays offense is now like pressing. Look at those fans. They are sad. I mean, we might not even see the Jays at home again this year. This might be it. We got these stupid towels that say, I want it all. I want to get swept by the Mariners again. Come on. Outside of the Yankees series, the bullpen has been cheeks. Remember, they gave the Yankees a lot of life, this bullpen, at the end of game 2. They coughed up game 3. Well, aided by a few errors, right? But we knew this bullpen was ass going into it. That's why you got to ride your starters as long as you can, especially when there's plenty of gas in the tank and they're pitching well. Cough, cough. Gosman yesterday, Savage today. It's just stupid to take your starter out. Like, it's a 7-game series. You're not running with 3 starters anymore. You can, like, throw your guys till they're out of gas now. They'll be fine for their next start. The only advantage is, which is stupid, because we gave up game 1 to get it, would be you can start Gosman in a game 4 if we go down 0-3. Hey, Bassett. 1, 2, 3, top of the 8. He's looking good. Maybe he should be starting game 4. Mojo says Seattle in 6. Winning it here, I fear. Could be. Mr. B, I have a big problem with taking Savage out. He settled down really nicely after the first inning. And he was only in trouble because Jimenez made a very bad error and put a runner on second who should have been out at first. I mean, he still probably had 30, 40 pitches left in the tank. I would have definitely hung, and especially knowing how bad the Jays' pen is. Just a bad decision by Schneider. And keep in mind, he gave up a 3-run homer when really he struck the first batter out. But the umpire did not agree, and a strike was not a strike in that particular at-bat. But yeah, man, Seattle taking full advantage of our shit-tacular bullpen. So congrats to them. Chris, the Pepsi driver, says that 93 team was the team of the century. On paper, the 92 and 93 teams were absolutely stacked. I don't know. The Yankees had some pretty serious teams, right? The Braves of that era were pretty fucking serious too. But they were definitely the Canadian team of the century. 94 Expos might say hello. That was us, but they got screwed. Hey, Will Arnett trying to get us to switch to RBC. Yep, I remember our flag was upside down at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. That was 3 stadiums ago for Atlanta. We're still on the same stadium, but that was 3. They went from Fulton County Stadium to Turner Field to whatever the hell their new one is called. Yeah, Smokes, if that 94 season doesn't get canceled, I think the Expos would still be in Montreal today. All right, Emerson Hancock. There's a name for you. That doesn't sound made up at all. Let's go, Guerrero. All right, Vladdy, you're 0 for 7 on the series. How about a 7-run bomb right now? It's never been done, but there's always a first time for everything. Kurtesh says, download Brave. You won't get ads. You'll still get ads if you're running Sportsnet through your browser. Jenny K says, that's the spirit. Ooh, Josh Allen getting sacked. 3rd down. Ball 4. There we go. At least it's not like a stressful game, right? Like, we're pretty sure we're going to lose. Just reading your messages. Smokes, Chris Mills. Yeah, that is true. All right, Barger. Flex those biceps. Hit a bomb. Atlanta is playing like they're at the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Bills took it on the chin last week, too, to the Patriots. They're going to be in shambles a little bit if they lose tonight. Oh, well, if the Jays win the next 2 in Seattle, I'll be a believer again. All right, this Hancock dude can't find the zone to save his life. Keep your bat in your shoulder, Barger. There we go, ball 4. Or ball 3. Whoops. Oopsie doopsie. Now it's 3 balls, no strikes. I read Barger as 0-3 today as a count 3-0. Bad Bunny to play the Super Bowl halftime show. Am I the only one that doesn't give a fuck about the halftime show during the Super Bowl? That's my time to like take a shower, get some laundry done, fly out to left field, 1 out. And the view count is dwindling. Come on, believers. Here comes Kirky. Congratulations. You've walked over 10,000 steps each day this week. Do you want to see a stretch routine to help? No. No, I do not. You went to Moe's in Oakville. Is that downtown Oakville? Jenny K says, I'm here till the fat lady sings. Oh, she's warming up those pipes. That's for damn sure. Jillian says this could be a letdown for the Jays tonight. There's an understatement. Mike T says until 9 Inch Nails plays the halftime show, I'll continue to not watch it. Flick Hunter says, thanks for hanging in there. Johnny was listening on my drive back downtown from North York. You should have been listening to 590. But thank you, Flick Hunter. And thank you for putting some baseball beers in the fridge. I'm just not having any tonight because yesterday I went a little hard at the game. And today was a workout day. I try not to drink more than 1 on workout days, and there's no way I could only have 1 if I cracked one open for this. Let's go, Kirk. Fouls it back. Put on some old Shirley Manson garbage. I don't know. I've never really given a shit about the Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, even if it's a band I like, it's always just like one song, maybe two, and like a million people dancing around them. Like, it's just such a ridiculous spectacle. I guess that's why some people like it. Let's go, Kirk. 3-2. Lisa says it's dumb, showboating bullshit. Green Day played the Grey Cup last year. Yeah, that's awesome. Grey Cup always does their halftime show so much better than the Super Bowl. Like, way less pomp and circumstance. It still feels like a big, slick production, but it's, you know, here's an awesome musician or band doing their thing for a little while, and that's it. Whereas, like, the Super Bowl halftime show is like this avant-garde bullshit that is just way too big of a production. It's just so shit. And yes, it's mostly lip syncing. Mojo says lip sync crap. Why bother? Yeah, when you see people like running around, dancing, twirling, and like their voice is pitch perfect, you're not singing. Come on, you'd be out of breath. If you've ever been to a live show, you know, like almost nobody sounds remotely like their recordings, right? Lisa says outdoor shows sound like shit most of the time anyway. Yeah, that's a dead giveaway that the Super Bowl is not. What you think? Hey, we haven't seen Heineman. That's right. Varsho, fly out to right field. Got two runners on. Robles catches it. Runner tags, goes to third. All right. Time for a 3-run bomb. Let's go, Clement. Lisa says the shows I go to sound pretty good compared to the recordings, but it's different, right? Don't like Schulman's kid on the radio. Nepotism at its worst. A lot of people don't mind him, but Tom and Jerry, he ain't. I haven't actually listened to the guy. I've heard his like calls played over highlights on like MLB on YouTube, but I've never actually listened to a game on the radio. Flick, so I'll have to respect your opinion on that. But Schulman's one of the best there is. Oof, he's going to end the inning here, isn't he? Fuck. One more inning of this, ladies and gents. Phuket Walk, happy Thanksgiving, Johnny in Canada. We need it. Thank you, Phuket Walk. Cheers to you. Hope you're doing well over in Thailandia. Awesome country. Thank you to all 97 of you who are tuned in right now. Friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell. That's the only time I've reminded you all stream. Do it. And thanks to all our channel members. Thanks to our mods. No thanks to John Schneider, though. Or the limp-ass Blue Jays. Needless to say, if they do not win Game 3, and Seattle's pitching is lined up to just throw ace after ace after ace to us. That's the scary part. Like, we are in deep doo-doo from a matchup perspective. And they got Brian Wu back. But we've shown we can crack them early in the game. That's 2 games in a row. We were able to get in the board early. So maybe they can get rolling on that. Matt Doctor says Jays need to start hitting. Jollykin says these games seem so long compared to football matches that you know. Sometimes baseball games go super quick, like 2.5 hours quick. Jenny Kritzkamp says thanks for these watching parties. Good times despite everything. Thanks, Jenny K. We had the thrill of victory last time. Now it's the agony of defeat for the second night in a row. Honestly, I could not be at the stadium right now. After going last night, like last night was fun. It was game one. You're all excited. We were never really down this much, right? We were always kind of one or two swings away. This downright sucks. This would not be a good feeling to be there. But if we win the next game, you can look at it this way. After 3 games, the series 2-1 is as close as a series can possibly be mathematically, right? And somebody has to have the 1. But man, that next game, Seattle is going to have no pressure on them at all. And we are going to have the weight of the universe on our shoulders. So that'll be a really good test of what they're made of. Seattle just has to say, hey, let's keep our foot on their throats. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world. Whereas Toronto, they're going to be fighting for their lives every game from here on out. Let's go, Eric Lauer. Matt Doctor says, sorry to the fans who forked out thousands for this game. Hey, you take that risk going in. Right? You know it's like 50-50. Jenny K says, here comes our miracle or not. Hey, the Bills are down 21-7. Yikes. Yikes. Hey, Tyler Heineman's in. Hey, it looks like Geddy Lee is gone. The Cheesehead Man is gone. All the stupidly rich people, or a lot of them, are leaving. The Jays are made of birdseed, says Anthony. Yeah, Math Doctor. The 50-50 was over $1 million last night, I think. How's your fantasy team doing? Let's not talk about it, Whippy Dude. Not a good weekend for me. I started Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard didn't play. I was that guy. I tacoed it up this weekend. The Jays just took all my attention. Plus, like, Friday was a wild day in the market, so I was kind of distracted by that. I just didn't look at fantasy football like an idiot. But the good news is I got my ass kicked. So had I have made the right moves, there would have been no chance. But I like that my opponent started a quarterback I dropped earlier and dusted me with him, and a defense I dropped earlier and did well. And I dropped Dicker the kicker, and Dicker had an awesome game today. So yeah, I should be like John Schneider. Whatever I do, I should just George Costanza it and do the opposite. I love your headphones, Johnny, but I bet they are expensive. These are the Bose Quiet Comforts. They are not cheap, but they are super comfortable. Excellent noise canceling. And they fold up. Something some of the newer models from Sony and Bose don't do. Bluetooth, or I can plug it into my microphone here. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I like them. They're mandatory long-haul flight material, or carry-on, whatever you want to say. Suarez with the single up the middle. Ooh, let's just get this game on or over with. Did I go riot last night? I walked my ass to St. Andrew Station and then went in the other direction. And as the train rolled into Union Station and a million Blue Jay fans got on, and my tired ass was already sitting down, I patted myself on the back for outplaying everybody with that big brain move. Seriously, if you are going up the university side after a Blue Jay game, just walk to King Station. It's an extra 5 minutes from Union. Walk to King. You'll get on a nice empty train. You'll have a seat all to yourself. It'll pull into Union. A billion people will get on, and you'll be sitting on your way up the university side. If you're going up the Young side, walk to St. Andrew. Same shit. Go back one stop to get a seat, and then go around the loop and go up the Young side. If you're going to line 2, just walk to St. Andrew Station and take whichever train comes first. If it's a northbound train, you don't have that long of a wait, even if you're standing. If it's a southbound train, you get to sit and you take the loop. It's win-win. But I felt like I outsmarted everybody last night by doing that. Math Doctor says, what's the difference between the Blue Jays bats and Seattle coffee? At least the coffee shows up hot in October. But Digital Blade Candace is never bored at Union Station, basically. Yeah, if you're in the 500 level for a sellout game, you're fucked because you got to go down that ramp and deal with a billion people. By the time you get to Union, it's going to be a logjam. Doesn't matter if you take Bremner, the Skywalk, or Front Street. In fact, you're almost always better off going to St. Andrew, no matter which way you're going. Christopher says, happy Thanksgiving, Toronto and Johnny. Happy Thanksgiving, Christopher. Let's go, Lauer. We got 2 outs. Bottom of 9 coming up soon. Whippy Dude says 1 north to line 5 someday. Hey, you'll be able to take either side up to line 5, right? That'll make all this shuttle bus nonsense so much easier to deal with. Although building line 5 was the cause of a lot of the shuttle buses. Suarez takes second on a 3-0. Come on, let's just end it. Let's go. The Blue Jays are getting terminated tonight. 3-0 on Victor Robles. Ball 4. Ooh! Wow. There's a gift from the umpire. I don't know what you're talking about, Jollykins. Pretty sure line 6 will be in service sooner than line 5. Probably, Math Doctor. What? That was like 4 inches inside and they called it a strike. This umpire. How the fuck are you a major league umpire and you've been this bad all game long? That is unreal. Watch, he's going to strike out now too. He strikes out. Thanks, Blue. Thanks for chugging us through that inning. Saved us some time. Man, if you're a Seattle fan, you can't even be mad at that. Like, you're just like, whatever. Just don't fuck us over when it counts. Jenny Kritzkamp says, 7 runs, here we come. I will publicly go streaking if they score 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th. I will absolutely go streaking. Will Ferrell, full on Will Ferrell style. We will do it. Lisa says going to go watch something else. All right, Lisa. If that something else is Ken Continuum, never come back. Just kidding. Oh, man. Atlanta just fucking in the driver's seat here. What's the difference between the Jays offense and a TTC streetcar? At least the streetcar eventually gets moving, even if it's late. But Christopher's got a brownie, a special brownie, a Howard Charco-esque brownie. Time to put those rally caps on, says Ivanka Osmak. Ain't nobody putting a rally cap on. Down 7 in the bottom of the 9th. Are you nuts? This is the Toronto playoff experience, but it's only game 2. It's only game 2. Let's see how many seats are empty. They've got a flyover view of the stadium right now. Yeah, there's a great deal of people that have gotten an early jump on leaving, it looks like. Maybe 30% of the crowd has gone home. I don't know, Jenny. A lot. Chris Mill says still not as bad as the Leafs. No, and unlike the Leafs, they're still alive, right? And at least the Leafs like pull ahead. They'll get up like 2 or 3 games, and then they'll be winning in like the elimination game, and then fuck it up. All right, Davis Schneider. Dodgers and Milwaukee 0-0. So this has been a long game. Hey, that guy's got the rally cap. And now we await for the greatest comeback in Major League postseason history. Do it. Sure those aren't crying towels? No, they're ShamWows. These are ShamWows. Ooh! Ball 4 to Schneider. 3 inches inside. Umpy McFuck calls it strike 2. This guy has been brutal. Ball 4. All right. Well, ball 5. Zach McNally says, let's go Jays. Matt Doctor says, you telling me we have a chance? That's right, Lloyd. We got a runner on first. Jimenez is up. Pinch hit Jimenez. Come on, pinch hit. Put someone in there. Doesn't matter if we have no one to play shortstop. Let's take this man's bat out of his hands. One and 0. Ball inside. So Hancock can't find the strike zone. Hey, Seattle's got a reliever up in the pen. Ooh. Ball 3 called strike 1. 2 inches up out of the zone. That's a strike. This umpire honestly has like a 65 to 70% accuracy rate on his strikes tonight. This is just horseshit after horseshit. If this were a close game, I'd be pissed about it. But close game, this is not. But that doesn't excuse him for not being a giant pile of shit tonight. I think fans on both sides can agree to that. Cruising with Williams says, Johnny, hope you have had Thanksgiving already. Thank you, Cruising with William. Does a bowl of muesli count? I'm probably going to go pick some food up right after this, wherever is open. But Jimenez should be on first base right now, but Umpy McFuckface thinks otherwise, so he's still up. Jimenez running up Hancock's pitch count. 35, it's 2-2. Come on, Jimenez. Oh, the other light went out. Should I even bother to, like, turn that shit on? Should we just watch this one in the dark? Sunglasses not needed. It's a funeral. We've got the lights off. Ooh, this screen is bright. Cruisin says, I like you in sunglasses. But it's so dark now. My key lights are battery powered and they have burnt out. Not burnt out, but batteries drained. Let's go, Springer. 2-0, 1 out. I didn't even notice Jimenez get out. Double play! All right. I just want to make a little suggestion for next game. Let's put John Schneider in a fucking straitjacket and put a muzzle over him. Just so he can't lift any starters way too early. Well, folks, I might go live. I don't know when I'm going to go live next on the Strides channel. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Who the fuck knows? Obviously, it's not what we want, but if they win the next game, I mean, in the 3-game series, 2-1 is as close as it can be. So let's just not fuck it up next time, even though we're going to be facing a who's who of starting pitchers from here on out. It is not looking good. Thank you, Whitby Dude, Sal Smith, Chris the Pepsi Driver, Zach McNally, Digital Blade, Jenny Kritzkamp, Math Doctor, Christopher, Mike T, Lane McLeod, everyone who sent support, Jeanette Morales, Alicia Lewis, thank you. Thank you, Marge, Medano, Vivian, Sanjay and Kingston, and everyone else, all our mods, Phuket Walk, Trojan Elk Explorer. Oh yeah, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Jays are down 2-0, but not out. They are not out. Basically, they're out, but they are not out. Thank you, Mark D, and everyone. Frustrating night, but it was fun spending it with you. Thank you so much for joining in and spending your time with us. It was a lot of fun. Sorry, our budget's a little too low. We can't change the lights, so once they went out, they're out. But have a good night. Go Jays, go. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Yoink. Happy Thanksgiving. Howard Charco, what's up? All right, good night, guys.